Welcome to Work Experience Australia. Today we're going to talk about gaining valuable experience and making money abroad. Learn how you can earn up to $20 an hour working on the Great Barrier Reef. My name's Diana Chowdhury and I'll be your program manager. I've actually just returned from the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, so I'd be a great person to ask any questions and concerns that you may have. Before we play this video, I'd like to tell you briefly a little bit about myself. In September of 2010, I decided to study abroad in Australia. I loved it so much that when I came home, I knew I had to return. I came home first semester, I graduated, and I went back for work. Working in Australia was a totally different experience than I was accustomed to. When I studied abroad, it was a bit different, but when I worked abroad, I truly got a hands-on feel for cultural immersion, and I really got to know the locals. I enjoyed my stay so much that now, this is my job, and I love what I do. Let's watch a video about Australia working abroad. This could be your office. So the agenda today consists of why Australia in particular, why would you want to study there, why work there, and what types of jobs that we offer, when is the hiring season, and what are employers really looking for, how does the process work, and I can also give you some interviewing tips. You'll also learn what to expect abroad, how to apply, and I can answer some of your questions at the end. So let's talk a little bit about why you should work abroad. Firstly, as we all know, the market's pretty bad right now in the States, so why not go abroad and get some international experience that will be very valuable to your employers in the future? Especially, this definitely sets you apart from the crowd. It makes you different from everyone else, and you're more valuable to your employer. Also, it gives you a fun experience. It's a chance to meet new people, not only Australians, but people from all around the world. Definitely great for your resume, and it's a lot of fun. Why Australia in general? Well, how many people can say that they worked on the Great Barrier Reef? You get to swim with Nemo, scuba dive, and do all those fun things right after your work. The gorgeous landscapes are, of course, a great thing, and the 80-degree weather is a plus. You get to impress your parents and friends and tell them all the stories about your abroad. You get to work at a 5-star resort as your workplace. Who can say they've done that? Especially there's no rainy days in Australia. We all like the beach and the sun. Who can work in Australia? Let's learn about what makes you eligible to work there. Firstly, you must be from 18 to 30 years old at the time that you lodge your application. You must be a U.S. citizen, although we are opening up the program to U.K. students. You must have graduated from high school or completed an equivalent qualification. You do not need college experience. You cannot have any children or pets, and you cannot have already entered Australia on your work and holiday visa. You definitely have to meet the character and health requirements, and this is something that I can go over with you. What kind of jobs can you get in Australia? All of our jobs are hospitality and tourism oriented. Firstly, we have a lot of food and beverage positions. We just opened up a bunch of culinary positions as well. You can be a room attendant. A lot of these positions are rotational, so that you can be a food and beverage, a room attendant, or a kitchen hand at the same time. This really teaches you the inner workings of a hotel and resort. Calling to all spa therapists, we also have jobs for you too. Those that like adventure, we have some recreational activities outdoors that you'd be interested in, like yoga instructors. If you want to be an office manager, this is the place for you. It's also a great opportunity. When is the hiring season? We have job placements all throughout the year, starting every month. We have a bunch of jobs that are open for you starting this month and next month, and we also have a bunch in the fall. Visas are issued for up to 12 months. If you want to stay in Australia for the entire 12 months, then you must work for 2 different employers for 6 months at a time. Many of our participants will work for 6 months and then use the additional 6 months to travel. What are they looking for in Australia? They're definitely looking for a high level of energy and enthusiasm. They want to make sure that you're a global citizen. They want to make sure that you're worldly and you know what's going on. Definitely a high level of professionalism is certainly important, and you need to really have good sportsmanship. This is probably the highest priority for Australian employers. Also, you should be flexible. Why not? You're working on the reef. Let's go over how the process works. First, you should apply online at our website. And then you're going to meet me. We can either talk on Skype or over the phone and go over some things. Then I'd like to schedule a preliminary interview with you to learn a little bit more about your background and your experience in hospitality and tourism. Don't worry if you don't necessarily have experience in this field, because we can work with some other jobs that might be applicable to you. After I schedule a preliminary interview and learn a little bit about you and your resume, you'd be required to make your initial deposit. After acceptance into the program, I'd lock in an interview with you for an employer within 9 days of the application. You'd be meeting someone in Australia that soon. Once you have this interview and most likely are hired, you'll receive your job offer. You'll sign this, they will sign it, and we'll get you going. You'd launch your visa application online, and I'd certainly be willing to help you do that. It's very simple. I just actually had a participant yesterday who was approved for his visa 1 hour after applying online. After returning your signed job offer of your final deposit, $1,250, you'll receive your insurance information. Your travel insurance is included in the program fee. Apply for your visa, confirm the visa acceptance, and then you're ready to purchase your flights. I'd be more than happy to help you do something like this. Then we're going to get ready for your pre-departure orientation with AAG. I can sit with you on Skype and go over some things like culture shock, get you ready to go abroad. You'll depart and you'll arrive. Then you're ready for the time of your life. Let's talk a little bit about Australia. Just so you know, Australia is the smallest continent, but it's the 6th largest country by land area. Australia is highly urbanized, with most of the population heavily concentrated along the coast. Its most populous states are Victoria and New South Wales. I've actually had the chance to see both of these places, and they're beautiful. I lived in New South Wales for about 6 months. I think that Australia is the perfect hybrid of the city and the beach. It's gorgeous with skyscrapers, but then there's just the most luxurious beaches you could ever dream of. Don't forget, your Aussie neighbors are Fiji and New Zealand. They're absolutely impeccable. You'll love them. The proximity is great. Australia's climate, let's talk about this a little bit. 3,000 hours of sunshine a year. Why not? Generally, the north is a bit hotter and it's more tropical, while the south tends to be subtropical and temperate. Lucky for you, the majority of our placements are located in the north. We have placements along the Sunday Islands, which is absolutely great. The weather is unforgiving though. Don't forget to bring your sunblock. Let's talk a little bit about the lifestyle. Hakuna Matata, it's the no worries way of life. This is how Australians feel, and it's truly how they carry out their lives. Hygiene standards are very high, it's very clean. Hospitals are great, they're modern, you'll feel like you're just at home. Doctors, dentists, well qualified, and you don't need any vaccines before you go. Let's talk a little bit about the economy. The economy is a lot similar to ours, except it's a little more prosperous at the moment. The Australian dollar is a bit stronger than ours. It is a capitalist economy like the States. However, the primary industry is mining and agriculture. There's a huge mining boom in Perth right now that you'll learn a lot about when you go abroad. The service industries include tourism, of course, education, financial services, which all account for 70% of Australia's GDP. That's a huge chunk. Don't forget, the minimum wage is higher than in the United States or in the UK. The minimum wage starts at $18 an hour. Let's talk about the Aboriginals in Australia. The Aboriginals are sort of like our Native Americans. You'll learn a lot about Aboriginal art, Aboriginal culture, and what the people are really about. They're the ones that started the whole Hakuna Matata outlook on life, and they truly, truly stand for it. It's a very multicultural population, especially with its proximity to Asia. There's great Thai food, Chinese, and everything. It's amazing. 1/4 of the citizens were born outside of Australia. So you're going to meet people from all over the world. I actually have a friend who's Australian. His mom's from Japan, and his dad's from England. He's a great guy. You'll meet people like this, and they're great to travel with. Don't forget, they're very famous for the variety of quality of global foods. Very active lifestyle. You can never go outside and not see someone bike riding, surfing, going on a jog, or even hiking. And there's definitely a strong appreciation for the outdoors. That's what Australia is about. Can't forget the marine life. It's my favorite part. Let's talk about the uncategorical must-knows. The people are colorist, but the money is not. The money is very colorful. Looks like Monopoly money, and it's pretty fun. It's plastic, and you can go surfing with it. However, the people, they're not so much colorless. People are very open-minded and tolerant of all different religions, races, and backgrounds. This is what I love about Australia. Don't forget, they drive on the left side of the road, not the wrong side of the road. I've been corrected many times for this. And no, the toilet does not flush the other way. I've tried this as well. Our summer and fall are peak seasons, so why don't hop on board right now and get a job starting this month? There's also heaps of wildlife, wombats, kangaroos, and even the Tasmanian devil. Don't forget your camera. You're going to take tons of pictures with people from all over the world. And you cannot forget that there's a huge time difference. You need to get a Skype so we can meet, and then you can meet your Australian employer. Are you ready to book now? If not, let's have a chat later on today, or maybe throughout the rest of the week. If so, hop on our website at australia.allianceabroad.com and enroll now. Now, we're hiring for July. Is this a dream? I think so. You could work at Daydream Island, Long Island, Hamilton Island, all starting in July. These places are absolutely gorgeous. I've actually had the opportunity to stay at all these places. I stayed in the staff accommodation, I ate the staff food, and I took part in the staff activities. It's amazing. Are you not ready for the summer? That's okay. Check out these photos. They're located in Tasmania. Tasmania is where the outback is. You want to get a real feel for Australia? This is where you want to be. Hopefully you don't run into a Tasmanian devil, though, unless it's at the zoo. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to hear me talk about my favorite place in the world. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at dchowdhury@allianceabroad.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.